Okay then, welcome. Just this morning finished off Prison of Sleep, which is a sequel to Doors of Sleep by Tim Pratt. And what I'll say off the bat is that if you like this, you will like this. I don't think it's quite as good. Towards the end, I thought it got a little messy, just a little messy, but nothing so convoluted that I couldn't follow along with it. And if you read this book, you fell in love with a couple characters called Mina and Vicky. And they're in here, just not nearly as much. I wanted them so bad in this book, wanted to read more of them, didn't get it as much as you're gonna want. So, what we find out is that Mr. Zaxony Delatry falls asleep, and when he does, he travels to new dimensions. I think that in this book, he didn't quite say flat out whether it was new dimensions or just other places in the universe. In this book, it says flat out it's multiple dimensions. In between these worlds, we find out at the end of this book something's trying to get out. And in here, we're going to find out what that was, and his ability to travel between worlds is the reason behind it's this cult that worships this thing, and they're literally trying to destroy the universe. Ta-da! And his ability is related to that because they find out that when you hop dimensions, little bits of damage are done to the multiverse. And so they are trying to break up the multiverse and infect as many people with this ability to travel between the worlds so this thing can get loose. Now, the way this is structured is that in this book we learned that when he tried to take someone with him once and they stayed awake through the transition to another world, that person lost their mind. But there's a reunion between the two characters. So this book tells the story of her journey after she has lost her mind, but it parallels the timeline of this book. Zaxony's story is ahead, it's current. So hers is in the past. Technically his is the past too, because he's telling the story via a journal, but you get the point. His is the contemporary tale. Hers is in the past up until they get together is what occurs here. They are part of a group called the Sleepers, who are other travelers who are trying to oppose the cult because they know what they're up to. And they have technology that makes things a lot easier on them. So instead of being able to only travel they're prevented from traveling back when you fall asleep, but they have technology that allows them to go back and forth as they need to. It has to be powered by a sleeper, so they have to bring one along no matter what, who stays hooked up to a gadget, and they can traverse the worlds. The book itself explains quite a bit on all these nice new rules. Goes along pretty well. Like I said, it just gets a tad little too messy there towards the end. The evil thing, and it is evil. The prison of sleep. Yes, it's a prison. The multiverse is a prison for this thing trying to get out. And it's a full-blown nihilist. I'm going to end your suffering by literally destroying everything that lives in the universe. Ta-da! And so he comes across as dripping with evil type personality. Lecter in this is trite compared to this evil thing in this book. Two different qualities to them. Lecter being the evil scientist genius, and this is some cosmic entity who just wants to destroy everything and be free. There's a cosmology lesson about who and what created the universe and what the pantheon is and was. And so I found out that this is going to be a duology, apparently. This is just two books. I suppose there's more you could do, but that's it. There's the end. All wrapped up nice and tidy. Zaxony himself, his story, on and on, he is admired by literally everyone for his pacifism. Filling in for, I guess, in a way, Mina and Vicky is a new character introduced called Safita. There's this warrior woman he picks up along the way and becomes his new companion. And she is even impressed. She's a battle woman. She'll kill you in a heartbeat. And she is impressed by him and starts asking permission. And he usually says, no, we can do it another way. It almost grinds your gears a little bit because at some point somebody's got to die. And he's always got to know there's got to be a better way. And it's admirable, but it grinds on you a little bit because you think if you place yourself in any kind of situation like this, you're like, look, dude, we're going to like save ourselves or else. But he finds another way, and that's Saxony, and he's a great character to follow. Fun couple of books right there. Tim Pratt, Doors of Sleep and Prison of Sleep. You will not go wrong reading those. So with that over with, primarily what's coming next is the great book of Amber, the Amber Chronicles. This is an old series, 10 books, 1,200 some pages or something. I guess that means it's around 120 pages per book. The reason I'm going after this is my favorite fantasy series is the Chronicles of Thomas Covenant the Unbeliever. And someone who I knew who also loved the series said this one was in fact his favorite fantasy series of all time. So I thought I really should just go ahead and give it a go. I don't know how I'm gonna, this is either going to grab me and I'm gonna stay with it for 1,200 pages, or maybe I'm just gonna read one book at a time and flip-flop between that and another book. Pardon me. But that is next. If I wind up flip-flopping back and forth, I had read this, Titan Hoppers, and it has a sequel called Spire Climbers. And this is actually a YA book, which I'm not a big fan of. I actually really like this book. This is a progressive book. Someone starts out as a beginner and becomes better. I really got it. Just because of that right there, I have this little special place in my heart for holograms, floating magic sigils, that kind of thing. So it piqued my interest. I'm glad I did. I don't know that I can call this it's either space fantasy or space opera. It didn't really flat out say that this is magic. It just seems to be some connection to whatever power you can get out of the universe. And it's not really that you get superpowers rather than magic spells is why I say all that. So we'll see how that goes. It's Earth is way behind, is left behind in history. Fleets of ships are sent out to follow these large planets, of which they are just referred to as Titans as they wander about the galaxy. Well, they have to rely on these Titans for resources. And they are filled with traps and monsters. Whoever created them in the first place seems to be long gone. So these are a very dangerous way to have to get resources. Hence, they train these folks as warriors from a young age. And so this has a sequel. So that'll be either I go through this whole thing and this is next, or I'll flip-flop and this will be the first book I flip-flop with. And there you go. That is it for today. Quick and easy. That's the way I like it. Thank you very much. Hope you have a lovely day. Hope you have a lovely week. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.